Okay, we're rolling.
Hello.
We're rolling our first video. This is our first video.
I think we
This
should
we should-
christen it with a kiss.
Okay. Did you hear that one, listeners? If you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts,
We're a couple.
this is our welcome to the studio, the in-home studio,
You can see it if you're not.
where we built this podcast.
Nice.
We're back with another episode, our second episode. Well, we think our second episode, depending on the order that we post these.
Yes.
And today we've got a really fun song with some really, I'd say, some pretty questionable lyrics.
It's like pointless.
Pointless. But
Why?
why? That's it. Why?
Where'd they come from? Who's I mean, we know, obviously, Bernie Taupin, but I mean, it's like pointless. Anyway, let's go.
Yeah, let's go. And I think today's song, for me, it brings up a couple of questions. There's a few things I think about when I think about this song. The first one is the phenomenon of something that's popular.
Our pug is going to be a problem in this podcast.
Come on. Come here.
Here, come here.
Get over here. There she is.
Where's she? That's Daisy. No,
Make a snort. Snort.
snort. I squeezed her really
You had to squeeze a snort out of her?
Yeah.
Careful, you squeeze a toot out of her.
Oh, no? Okay.
No, and it's welcome, Daisy. No, but the song today for me brings up a couple things. One is this idea of something that's popular at the time, because the song we're talking about today was very popular, later ridiculed.
Oh, okay.
You know, I feel like this song now, as we're going to see, has become a bit of a punchline. But, you know, I can think of the opposite. Can you think of like movies or music at the time they come out, they're not really valued.
Yeah.
And then later they become like really popular. But you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of, something off the top of my head. I know for sure there's so many, but anyway, can't think of anything right now.
Well, even, movies that become cult classics.
Yeah, for sure.
But
like Party Girl with Parker Posey. I don't know. It was so small. It's something you must watch.
Party Girl. Becky loves Party Girl.
Oh, it's the best.
But I think the opposite is an interesting case where you have something that's popular and then later is sort of like, oh my gosh, that. But while even still maybe remaining a little popular, I don't know. It's interesting because today's song, I think, is quite dumb.
It is so stupid.
But it was really popular.
But when how old were you when it came out?
I was 8.
8. Okay, so
my parents had the record though. They had the LP. So as I got older, I listened to it on the LP. I'm sure heard it on the radio. And then, do you remember it coming out? I'm sure I remember it being like really.
No, but I don't remember. Like, I kind of do remember thinking, whatever. Like, what does it mean, kind of thing. But anyway, I'm down to dig in.
And then the other thing that I think brings up for me is the career arc of certain people. And we talked about this a bit. One of my favorite lines from High Fidelity is Jack Black, who I just saw recently in Minecraft with my son.
Mm-hmm. Your favorite movie.
Don't recommend. Don't recommend.
This is not a case where it starts out as
yes, Minecraft.
We're gonna at some point fondly remember the
Minecraft movie. Will not go from
cult classic.
Will that become a cult classic?
Okay.
No.
What a shame.
Yeah. But in High Fidelity, Jack Black is talking about Stevie Wonder, and the song "I Just Called to Say I Love You," and he uses it to make this point. How do we think about what he calls the latter-day sins of formerly great artists? Is it better to burn out than to fade away? Where basically he feels like Stevie Wonder kind of sold out in the 80s. And today's artists I mean, culture icon of the 1960s by the 80s. Interesting
What,
music
like
choices.
Grace Slick?
Grace Slick,
Yeah,
exactly.
like singing "One pill makes you happy," and one pill, and then to go to "We built this city."
And there you go. So the song today, ladies and gentlemen, is "We Built This City" by Starship. Let's get started.
Yeah,
All right, you ready to get going?
yeah. Let's go.
All right.
Let's talk about
You
it.
ready, Daisy?
She's ready. She's
Ready.
always ready. She licks the air,
Yeah.
which is a noise that might be like if you have misophonia, it'll put you over the edge.
But you might like it. I think it's a little ASMR.
No,
Okay. I mean, I don't think it is, but
there's no way
I don't like
anyone's
ASMR.
gonna like it. It's so gross. Sorry, everyone. Oh, it's all right.
So, We Built This City is the debut single by American rock band Starship from their 1985 debut album, Knee Deep in the Hoopla.
What a dumb album name. But also, let me ask you this. I always thought it was Jefferson Starship.
Right. So, that in itself could be almost its own episode.
Oh.
So, Starship is the continuation of Jefferson Starship, which in itself was a continuation of Jefferson Airplane.
Oh, right. That's what I thought it was. Jefferson Airplane.
Right, Jefferson Airplane is the
one pill.
the song the band that did White Rabbit. They're the 1960s icon. They went through an incarnation, and it's all legal stuff. I think it's all legal, fighting over the name kind of stuff.
Would you call it legal hoopla?
Legal, yeah, knee deep in the legal hoopla.
Yeah.
They were knee deep.
Okay.
One of the worst album covers I've ever seen.
Oh my God! Everyone has to Google.
Well, I'm going to be putting these on the screen as we talk through some of these images. Now,
What is going on? That's a kindergartner did that. Kindergartner playing with Photoshop. I don't know.
Not even Photoshop. It's like Microsoft Paint or something.
Oh,
I don't know. This song was written by Martin Page, English musician Martin Page, and Bernie Taupin. And remind us, Becky, who Bernie Taupin is.
Bernie Taupin was the producer, right?
The
and
lyricist.
lyricist for Elton John.
Pretty much every Elton John song, well, certainly that we've heard on the radio and whatnot, was written by Bernie Taupin.
Yeah, but
Lyrics, anyway.
yeah. And I was saying it reminded me of that Elton John song. And Still Standing.
Right. So here we are, like in the 1980s, right? There's a certain what is it, 80s
It's like
pop?
boppy. It's bop.
Bop.
It's like doom, something you can dance, like Molly Ringwald from Breakfast Club. Like do that little sway snap thing. Yeah.
The song peaked at number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100. And outside the U.S., We Built This City.
Wait, it peaked at number 1?
Peaked at number 1. Peaked at number 1.
That is insane.
It topped the charts in Australia and Canada, and inside the top 10 in Germany, Ireland, Sweden, Switzerland. And it was a hit all over.
Is it?
Well,
I can't wait to dig in.
Okay. Let's go to the lyrics. Let's just kind of dig into the lyrics here first. So We Built This City has this sort of like explosive, right? We built this city, right? Just kind of start off.
Yeah.
We built this city on rock and roll.
Sure.
Okay, sure. We built the city. Now the first verse, as we were kind of like talking through this morning, and we were like kind of even raising our eyebrows even at first glance. Say you don't know me or recognize my face. Say you don't care who goes to that kind of place. Knee deep in the hoopla, sinking in your fight, too many runaways, eating up the night. Now, apparently the idea here is that this is an anti-corporate song. Right? So you say you don't care who goes to that kind of place. Like maybe there's a sort of like, I don't know.
A corporate nightclub.
Yeah, a corporate nightclub. Yeah.
Instead of like a honky tonk.
Yeah. I don't know.
And who they say in this knee deep in the hoopla as if that's a saying. No one says that. Did you say that in Maine?
Knee deep in the hoopla?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You did?
No.
Oh.
Maybe they thought it would catch on. I mean, hoopla is what like
Hoopla is like a bunch of shit.
Hoopla. Hoopla sounds like it sounds like a 70s word. Like somebody came up with like it's the hoopla, man. It's like everything's happening all at once.
It's such a dumb word.
Yeah, it's bad.
Hoopla.
Yeah, hold on. Let's get to the bottom of hoopla.
The etymology?
Yeah, let's get to let's see. Hoopla
Oh, good.
first recorded in
Oh my
1865.
God, it's a French
From the
word?
French word
Oubla. Oubla?
command as to a child to move, take a step.
Oh.
Okay.
Maybe this song is going to be way deeper than we thought.
Yeah, this podcast actually might just prove that we're kind of like,
We're idiots.
we're going to be like, oh my gosh, this is so deep.
This song has such great meaning. But I really think what just sucks you in is the build.
Yeah, it builds
You know,
up.
it's an early build. And then everyone thinks of Detroit, Motor City, and rock and roll, I guess.
No, they do, but it's interesting because I want to talk about this for a second because this song, so actually Grace Slick, let's talk about Grace Slick for a second before we get to what is probably one of the
excuse me,
worst or like most mocked lines in pop music history. Before we get to that, let's talk about Grace Slick. Because Grace Slick really is a cultural icon. Let's see, we're going to pull her up here. Grace Slick. So Grace Slick, she's still alive. She was born in 1939. Known actually a lot for her painting. Retired musician. She retired from recording. Whose musical career spanned 4 decades. She was a prominent figure in San Francisco's psychedelic music scene in the 60s and early 70s. She was the frontwoman for Jefferson Airplane, subsequently for the spin-off bands Jefferson Starship and Starship.
So she's in all of those iterations,
Yeah.
Yet they all had to be different names.
Yeah, it had to do with, she, I guess, was not a founding member.
Oh.
And so she did not control the naming. But they peaked, Jefferson Airplane achieved significant success and popularity with their 1967 studio album, Surrealistic Pillow. Is there a more 60s name than that?
Yeah.
Which included top 10 hits, White Rabbit, and Somebody to Love. Remember when Jim Carrey does that in Cable Guy? Don't you want somebody to love? No. Remember when he's... Oh, okay.
Cable Guy wasn't my favorite movie. He's so over the top.
No, I know. I'm not saying it was a great movie. I'm just...
But Surrealistic Pillow, then it makes me think of like... Was it a rock? And it's surrealistic because, you can't use it, man.
Yeah.
Like, just the like, I don't know.
Yeah.
The inside is outside, man. Like everything up is down.
Yeah. No, it's a pretty quintessential. But look at according to Wikipedia, her other name. So her name's Grace Slick. Her actual birth name was Grace Wing. But she also went by Gracie, the Chrome Nun, and the Acid Queen.
Ooh, do you think she dealt acid?
Well, I think she probably just dropped a lot of it. I mean, I think San Francisco in the late 60s, right?
That makes me think of that Slouching Towards Bethlehem.
Oh, yeah.
And then the end of that when Joan Didion goes there and she's like meeting these people who are giving acid to their 5-year-olds and stuff. It's just heartbreaking. It's like, almost that part. Unreadable. I mean, of course I read it.
Yeah, the drug scene of that era, it's not great.
Yeah, I know. We think of it as like so, wow, you're really getting to know yourself and it's so deep and everything. But honestly, like when you read like this eyes open documentation of what is happening, boots on the ground, this person who's sort of, what's it called when embedded, like she kind of embedded herself with the everyone on hate in the hate, on Hate Ashbury. And she was like, she's in people's homes and she's with the kids and like, they're just, animals were eating it. It was just rough.
It's bad. Yeah, I remember reading an interview with David Crosby. And this was later. This isn't in like maybe the 90s or 2000s even. And him saying, he's pretty proud of what they did in the 60s, but what they got wrong was the drugs. They
Yeah.
felt like the drugs were going to open some kind of new gateway, and instead it ruined a lot of their lives. It
Yeah.
certainly ruined his life, and they got it wrong. Grace Slick, though, real quick, last thing on Grace Slick.
Okay.
So interesting. Born in Highland Park, right, a very wealthy suburb of Chicago, and just interesting the sort of like the types of people that ended up in San Francisco.
That
Sort of
makes me.
disaffected youth, right? She's in the high class of Chicago life, and she said she heads out.
Well, does that make you think of like Bob Dylan's Rolling Stone or something? You know,
Yeah.
like here, that kind of girl, and then where's she living? You just don't know though, because if, maybe her life path, she loved it. She's on acid and she's not really
Yeah.
aware of, everything
Yeah.
so much.
But she's an icon of the 60s with these songs. If you hear White Rabbit was used really prominently in the movie Platoon to depict the soldiers there in Vietnam, and it's a really powerful song. She said, I found this interview that she gave with Uncut Magazine in 2023 or 2022. And this is what the author wrote. Like many people, Grace Slick hates We Built This City and once called it the worst song ever.
She's right.
She told Vanity Fair in 2012, I was such an asshole for a while. I was trying to make up for it by being sober, which I was all during the 80s, which is a bizarre decade to be sober in. Great line.
What a good point.
So I was trying to make it up to the band by being a good girl. Here, we're going to sing this song. We built this city on rock and roll. Oh, you're shitting me. That's the worst song ever. We built the city on rock and roll? There isn't any city built on rock and roll, she later told the magazine. If you're talking about LA, that's built on oranges and oil in the movie industry. San Francisco, that's built on gold and trade. New York, that's been around way longer than rock and roll. Which is maybe a little too pedantic, like the city, like built on. Do we really have to get that
We're
specific?
not so literal.
Yeah,
But yeah,
not a fan of her own song.
well, I mean, I wouldn't say it's the worst song of all time. We are going to probably cover worse, but it's pretty bad. And I mean, let's continue with the lyrics.
And we're going to be right back after this short break with what I think's got to be one of the top 10 most befuddling lines in pop music history. And I'm going to show Becky a video segment that's going to blow her away.
Yeah. Do tell.
All right, we're back.
We're back.
Daisy's back too.
Good girl.
Daisy's back.
Do.
Daisy's back, which is to say Daisy never left.
Daisy.
You don't go anywhere.
She's such a lump.
So we get to the chorus of the song, and the chorus of the song contains the line, Marconi plays the mamba. Listen to the radio. Don't you remember? We built a city on rock and roll. Marconi plays the mamba.
Why? Okay, so the first thing that pops into my mind, how is a mamba rock and roll?
Oh, it's not. First of all, what is a mamba?
Well, a mamba, we looked it up this morning, so I know it's a drug. I mean, a drum.
It's a drug. Maybe that's it. Or maybe. Oh wait, hold on a second. Maybe we're giving Grace Slick not enough credit here.
No. But the thing is, it sounds like a world music kind of instrument to me. Something like
it sounds like 1994 Peter Gabriel, or you said like Paul Simon.
Yeah, but also like okay, I don't want to.
But who's Marconi?
Well, Marconi is their friend.
Marconi.
They call him Marconi Macaroni.
Hold on. I'm going to go here for a second because Wikipedia does reference this line.
Oh.
Marconi plays the mamba. Here we go.
Oh. It's an old man?
Wait, hold on. Giovanni Maria Marconi was an Italian, well, he died in 1937, was an Italian electrical engineer, inventor, and politician known for his creation of a practical radio wave. This led Marconi being credited as the inventor of radio. Whoa, the inventor, hold on. He won the 1909 Nobel Prize in Physics.
Well, this song is deeper than we thought. First of all, hoopla. And now Marconi invented the radio. Why didn't they say Marconi invented radio?
Marconi, listen to the radio. Marconi plays the mamba, listen to the radio.
Don't you remember? We didn't remember.
But why?
We didn't learn it.
No, but why is he playing a fucking mamba, though? Was he also a mamba? I don't even know what a mamba is here, but hold on. He founded...
It helps if you have money to be an inventor. Look at this guy. He's
known for invention of radio. That's a great Wikipedia tag.
I mean, Jesus. And also, listen, so the second son of Giuseppe Marconi, and then he's like all this, he's got the land, he's like basically Italian nobility.
Yeah.
And so like all the nobles and aristocrats there's so many inventors because they have time on their hands.
Yeah, they got.
I do have to say though, Benjamin Franklin, he really raised himself. He was like poor. He went at 13, he left.
Did he play the mamba?
No.
Did he invent the mamba?
He didn't invent the radio. So what the thing is, Marconi plays the... How does the line go?
Marconi plays the mamba, listen to the radio. Hold on, we're going to mamba here. I'm going to the Wikipedia. Well, snake, we know that. Hold on a second.
Yeah, see? Okay. I always thought it was a mamba. Was a snake.
Hold on, look. Wow, there's a lot of entries here. Okay, so there's films.
But look at Marconi mamba.
Okay, hold on. I just want to see.
But then I'll just pull up that page.
So Kobe Bryant, R.I.P. Kobe, the mamba. Well, Mamba, a Russian social dating website.
Oh,
interesting.
It means
Mamba,
snake like you. There's a lot of really shady people in there.
God, so many. Mamba's also a roller coaster in Missouri. Mamba's a candy. Okay, hold on. Yeah, so black mamba, white mamba, mamba but there's nothing in here about music though. He plays the mamba.
What? But we know it's a drum. But so is the drum just that it's played on the radio? I mean, sorry, we're digressing so much.
Well, this line is
it's like, I don't know why we're so focused. It's such a dumb line. It's like, what?
I'm really curious. Like, who is Marconi? Why is he playing the mamba?
Well, now we know who Marconi is, who is a good person to know. Like, this is a good trivia question.
Yeah, I love it.
Giuseppe Marconi. Hey, everyone remember this.
When you win pub trivia one night.
Can you give us the credit?
Marconi
invented the radio. Giuseppe.
I think I was mispronouncing his name earlier. Yeah, Marconi. He. Okay, hold on. So, all right. So Marconi, he invented the radio. I'm not sure why he's included here.
Well, but I think he's okay. So Marconi plays the mamba. Listen to the radio. So because Marconi invented the radio. If you play the radio, you hear the mamba.
I guess.
The drum. The drum beat of life. The drum beat of time.
Way to sell it, babe.
Don't you remember? But are they... Maybe they want us to learn things.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on.
Okay, before we move on, I want to play now for you, Becky. Becky hasn't seen this. I'm going to play a short snippet of the video to this song.
Oh,
okay.
My God, videos, you guys.
No, hold on. I mean,
videos are
Marconi plays the mamba. I think really is.
I can't wait.
One of just the worst lines. Even if it turns out Marconi invented the fucking radio, it's still playing the mamba is a terrible line.
It's a bad
this video clip, and I'll post some still shots as we talk through. I'm going to play this, just a short segment for you, Beck. I just want you to describe for the listener what you're seeing. I'll keep the volume down. We don't want to get in trouble.
That's the first time he's ever called me Beck.
Not the first time.
I think so. You always call me babe.
Sorry. Okay, here we go. You ready?
Uh-huh.
All right, I'm picking it up here at the Hold on, I'm picking up at the 36-second mark. Okay.
You have to watch this.
Yeah, okay, here we go. Ready? No, hold on.
Wait, but first of all-
I cannot prepare you for what you're about to see.
But the still that you have it on, okay, at 36
seconds.
36 seconds in, like his shirt, his hair.
It's like a poor man's Springsteen no, it's like Richard Marx hair.
No, but that shirt is like my grandma had. Like that's like a woman's blouse that he's rolled the sleeves. Like even the collar. And what is the pants? What are those?
Yeah.
Anyway,
It's bad.
That hair.
It's not good.
Who cut that? Is it cut? It's like chia front, and then
yeah,
like it. Oh, you know what it reminds me of? Have you watched on
haircut?
No, on TikTok they have these.
I watch TikTok.
Well, my daughter sends them to me. They have these in Japan.
Yeah.
It's like these ASMR dog grooming videos.
Okay.
And
that's what he reminds you of?
His hair is like when they do a poodle. They do them so perfect.
Wait, hold on.
People in the audience are like, yes, I love those.
But hold on, really quickly here, though. What is the guy's name? It's Mickey Thomas. Okay. Mickey Thomas is the guy you're seeing here. Okay. Yeah. No.
Okay, wait, let's talk
Who's
about
the
this.
director of this video?
No.
Go ahead.
Okay,
Tell me.
I have this thing where, because I had, friends back when videos were such a thing.
Yeah.
And so for a minute, I dated this guy who actually did videos, and they had to do treatments, like where he would like come up with this shit. So every time I see a video, all I want to do is like, I envision the treatment for this. So what happened in this video is the guy turns and he's singing with, black shadowy background.
Yeah, so dark.
He's like kind of backlit. So his poodle.
Looks like a predator.
Hair is kind of backlit with a purple lining. And then he's kind of snapping at you.
Yeah.
And then people populate the screen frozen, like just a face.
Yeah.
And like really big in the foreground, littler in the background. Ridiculous outfits. Ridiculous.
It's the 80s, babe. Come on.
I know, but still, like, it's like, you know what? It's even in the 80s, it was somewhat like trying to be 80s. It's almost like someone was saying, we've got to be more 80s. Like, we're in the 80s. Like, because even now, if you're trying to do 80s, like, they wouldn't even go that bad of 80s. Like
you show up to a party, people be like, "Come on!"
But
nobody fucking dressed like that.
Okay. So, but wait. So they're singing. They're going towards, and then
Lincoln Memorial.
Walking towards the Lincoln Memorial. The Lincoln Memorial to sing about that they built this city. There's just no.
No, it makes no sense.
Who came up with this idea? And did Bernie Taupin think that?
No.
Is that what the city he built
Bernie
on rock and roll? But did they? Because slaves built Washington D.C. and they invented rock and roll. The music.
Now that would be something.
Deep.
That would be deep.
That's
as hell.
some deep.
That'd be deep
shit.
as hell.
I think this is a very deep song, and we really need to rethink this song.
If Trump finds out, he'll cancel this shit. That's a DEI song right there. Damn,
that song is real.
Does Trump know that black people invented rock and roll? Because he'll just cancel it all. Doge will come after Spotify if he knows that.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, terrible, right? But you didn't even mention the worst part: the guy dressed as the Abe Lincoln Memorial, standing up and singing. Okay,
I was so blown away by the fact that
I'll put some shots on the screen so you can see it.
Yeah, that was egregious.
It's egregious. Okay, we built this city. Let me tell you this though. I want to go back to my point here about songs that were popular and then later get sort of rethought of, right? Because I want to just make sure the listener understands, first of all, I love this song. This is a fun song to rock out to. And a lot of people thought this in 1985. Because in 1985, not only did it chart at number 1, in the Billboard's Hot 100 for the year, it came in at number 14. between Can't Fight This Feeling by REO Speedwagon and The Power of Love by Huey Lewis on the News.
I love REO Speedwagon.
This
But
is-
how about
this-
Wham! Careless Whisper was
Careless
number
Whisper
one.
goes in at number one.
Yeah.
Let's go through the top 10 in
Yeah.
1985 because this is an absolute hot streak for 1985. Like a Virgin at number 2, Wake Me Up Before You Go Go.
Wow, Wham! has
3.
2 in the top 5.
I Want to Know What Love Is.
Oh my God.
Foreigner number 4.
We've got to cover some of these.
Number 5, I Feel For You by Chaka Khan.
Chaka Khan.
Out of Touch, Hall & Oates.
You're out of touch. You're out of
Not
touch.
one of my favorites.
I love
Everybody Wants to Rule the World. From one of what
good song.
I think one of the most underrated bands of the era, Tears for Fears.
Yeah.
Money for Nothing.
Yeah.
Crazy for You by Madonna.
But
Take
also,
On Me by Aha.
okay, that's top 10. But let me just say, so all of these, I remember all of the videos.
Well, yeah.
Like they all were such a thing. Like Careless Whisper, like this guy walking around, and like a virgin, like
but-
just like the video game was just.
But what do you?
The video game was strong with these ones.
With these ones, the video game was strong.
Sorry, you're gonna have to cut that out. You're gonna have to say that again.
With these ones, the video game was strong.
Yes, I'm sorry. I did my
Your syntax was
yes
normal.
wrong.
But what do you think of this? Is it because because as you say, the video's terrible, but here it is charting at number 14, and videos were important. Look,
Yeah, but in the same, sorry to interrupt, but in the same way we didn't know this song was bad, we didn't know this video was bad. We probably thought it was awesome. Wow, and then Lincoln stood up. Like,
so fucking bad. If,
We were
if
dumb.
anyone
We were-
cheered for that moment,
no, we were so young. Like the only people watching MTV were young.
but
like,
you know what? This is the same year, and I'm not trying to, I just want to tie in something we were talking about earlier.
what?
This song came out during the final season of Dukes of Hazzard. Were people just dumber? Is that what's going on?
Yes.
Were people just dumber?
I just think we were less aware. Like we had less people like sort of mansplaining to us from every like
Is that a good thing?
well, no, you know what I mean? It's just like even women are mansplaining. Like I feel like I've been guilty of mansplaining. I mean, I think that it's like this like but in this world and in the internet, anything is at your fingertips. Like knowledge is just like so easily acquired. Back then we had to look shit up. So you bring up Dukes of Hazzard.
So fucking bad.
It's so bad. There's a period of time in my life where we had no television in our home and I was babysitting all the time back then. And so like I'm going to these houses where I'm just dying for a television so I can watch the Dukes of Hazzard.
Yeah.
I loved that show.
Yeah.
I mean, Bo and Luke Duke, and I can't believe how long it was on. It started in the 70s. That like blew me away too.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
Let's go to the second verse that we built this city, because this is where I think we get to like what they were trying to say,
Okay.
right? So
Because no one's clear so far.
well, I mean, Marconi's playing the mamba.
The invented the radio.
Marconi's playing the mamba. We're knee deep in the hoopla.
Hoopla. Wait,
Sure.
hoopla means move.
Fucking, I don't know. Hoopla, I think, is like kind of.
It doesn't make sense from its etymology in this
Hold
context.
on, let's see. Hoopla is excitement surrounding an event.
Okay.
So, like, you could kind of imagine like frenetic movement or something,
Right.
like one of these videos.
Yeah.
Okay, but the second verse goes. This is where they maybe even get a little too on the nose with what they're trying to say. Someone's always playing corporation games. Who cares? They're always changing corporation names. We just want to dance here. Someone stole the stage. They call us irresponsible, write us off the page.
Us, the musician?
I think so, yeah. Now, I will say that back to Wikipedia, let me see here where it says actually what Taupin was like trying to accomplish. It says something about he was trying to comment on the club scene. It was intended as a lament against the closure of many of LA's live music clubs. Which I don't know. But incidentally, I did read recently in the New York Times that a lot of popular New York clubs are closing due to high rents. So maybe somebody can come along with another.
Corporations.
Yeah, corporate. Yeah, sure.
Corporations who
so let's
probably like, God, I'm so sick of corporations right now. I might like change my stance on this song and now love it.
just embrace it.
Yeah, because like the what are they? I always forget what they're called who acquire people. Private equity.
Yeah, private equity.
The private equity model is just brutal and it ruins everything. And then those private equity bros and just like that. Ugh. That's who's in charge right now.
Yeah.
That's what's
so maybe it's time for another We Built This City.
Yeah, we need another. I'm sure there's probably 100 of these songs, but
this one was
number 1,
number 1, and then number 14 for the year.
That's pretty,
And then I gotta say, honestly, the final verse doesn't quite wow me as much. Who counts the money underneath the bar? Who rides the wrecking ball into our guitars? That is a rough line.
And also, how long did it take him to write this song?
Well, Bernie Taupin was living in L.A., I guess, when he wrote this. Right, so he's lamenting the closure of the clubs. It might have been like a lunchtime, like a lunch
he
meeting.
He dashed it off while
sort
eating
of
guacamole.
Were people eating guac in the 80s?
Yeah, people were eating guac.
Well,
everyone in L.A.
All right, I was in Maine.
He's from the East Coast. He's from New England.
Ding. Don't tell us you need us, because we're the ship of fools looking for America coming through your schools.
What? I want to. What does the ship of fools mean?
Ship of fools?
Yeah. What is that a reference to?
Don't tell us you need us because we're the ship of fools.
Ship of fools is something. It's a thing.
You think,
can we look that up? No, I think the ship of fools is. I've heard it in other songs. I've heard it like.
Yeah, go ahead.
Ship of Fools. What is it?
Ship of Fools? Is it okay.
No, I think
there's a film called that.
No, I think it's an allegory. Maybe that's it. 1494. Here we go.
Where? Ship of Fools satire. Okay, here we go.
Yes.
Okay, so Ship of Fools, original medieval German title. Oh, we don't need to know. It's a satirical allegory in German verse, published in 1494 in Basel, Switzerland. By Sebastian Brandt. It is the most famous treatment of the Ship of Fools trope. Okay, here we go. Ship of Fools trope.
See?
Good
nice.
Job. Good job by you, babe.
Thanks. I love tropes.
It's an allegory first appearing, in Book 6 of Plato's Republic.
Plato.
Marconi, Plato. I mean,
this song is deep and shallow.
It's about a ship with, maybe the water the ship went into.
Yes.
It's a ship with a dysfunctional crew. The allegory is intended to represent the problems of governance prevailing in a political system not based on expert knowledge. Don't tell us you need us because we're the ship of fools.
So, no experts.
Yeah, that's it.
This is...
intergenerational condescension?
What?
No, but it's because they're talking about, the corporations, the older generation looking down on them.
Oh,
don't tell us.
That's how you see.
Don't tell us you need us because we're the ship of fools. Because you're this young generation coming up, but you don't know anything yet.
Okay, but
even though Grace, when she's singing this, wasn't really. She's probably in her 40s by then.
How your take on this is that their take is that the corporations think that the musicians are just dummies. There's no experts among them.
Yeah, you don't know how the real world works.
Because you're an artist. It reminds me of, and everyone, bear with me because my pop culture life is deep. And so my reference of comedy, like TV shows, for instance, 30 Rock, one of my favorite shows of all time. But there's this whole thing about Liz Lemon and all the writers on the show, they get paid jack shit diddly squat nothing
Right.
and accept it because they love what they do and they're happy. They kind of are the ship of fools because they're so happy to be in there, like making comedy, creating art. They're doing something and getting, like, making a living, even if they're sort of scraping by, and they work like, 22 hours a day. And meanwhile, Jack, is taking her out to something and he's trying to get her into the corporate side because he's mentoring Liz Lemon, So he's like, come on, Lemon, you gotta, like, he's taking her to this, like, where he bought a table and shit like that, corporate things. But the thing is, she's an artist and she's like, yeah, I can't believe that you guys are taking advantage of us like this. But at the same time, they just sort of, I don't know, like, I'm like that too. You sort of suck it up because you kind of love what you do and you kind of, if you are able to be creative and then the corporate people, like, they're like, how they can make, their whole agenda is making money. So if you're one of the people that is making money for them, they can always get you to do it cheap because you're happy to do the thing that you do.
Sure.
We are the ship of fools.
Capitalism, babe. Capitalism.
I explained it horribly, but God, I feel like
I think you nailed it.
I'm a ship of fool. I'm a full ship. Fool on a ship.
Crew of one?
Crew. No, you're a crew member.
I'm there too. I'm a crew member. Yeah.
You're my matey.
Oh.
You're
first
in the Navy.
matey?
You're in the Navy too. He knows all these words like potable.
Potable. Yes, potable water. Mm-hmm. Last thing before I get to a wrap up here, we forgot to mention the I don't know what you call this part of the song, the bridge or this transition to the last verse. Grace Slick sings, "It's just another Sunday in a tired old street. Police have got the chokehold. Oh, then we just lost the beat." Maybe she's referencing a specific event.
I don't know, but
authoritarian state. Yeah, I mean, it feels a little on the nose for like the 2020s.
I know, but then the chokehold, the fact that that's in the 80s, probably before it was kind of banned, and then not to say banned, like it.
No, for sure.
Happy to use it.
The chokehold was
alive and well and thriving.
Yeah.
God.
Well,
yeah.
One more thing about this song here. In 2011, Rolling Stone had an online readers poll that named "We Built This City" the worst song of the 1980s.
God, that's cold.
The song's winning margin was so large, the magazine reported, quote, "It could be the biggest blowout victory in the history of Rolling Stone readers polls." I'm not sure how extensive that history is, but the worst song of the 1980s.
I'm trying to think, like, if you think about the 80s.
There's no way. Like you said at the beginning of the show, there's no way that's true.
Yeah. Yeah.
Worst song?
No. But off the top of your head? Does anything come to
We're talking about popular songs, not like the 11th track on like.
No, obviously it's like, top.
Yeah. Okay, so like, Billboard hits.
Yeah.
No, I mean, even if I go to, let's go back to the Billboard Top 100 of 1985.
Yeah.
If I go to the bottom, look at some of these songs at the bottom, right? Like
Sugar Walls.
Sugar Walls at number 100 by Sheena Easton. There's just no way that's better than We Built This City.
No. Dress You Up, Madonna, 98. That's such a good song.
Yeah.
Dress You Up with My Love.
Yeah.
All She Wants to Do Is Dance. That's a contender.
I love Don Henley.
Eagles' all-time favorite band. But sorry, Don.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
I mean.
Penny Lover. Lionel Richie, bad.
Really bad. No, there's some really bad songs just in the top 100.
Wait, I want a Private Dancer, Born in the USA, good, Jungle of the Time.
So anyway, needless to say, that maybe is a little harsh.
Yeah, California Girls, David Lee Roth.
But just to kind of wrap up here, how do you feel about, that video, the lyrics, a 60s counterculture icon singing those lines? Do you feel like, hey, that was the 60s, this is the 80s? Or do you feel like what's your kind of feeling? Is it like, well, it's the 80s, man. Everybody was going corporate.
Well,
Like,
no, that's how ironic,
yeah.
right? That she hates the song singing about corporate America that she caved in to sing about.
Which is a very polished corporate sounding song.
About how bad corporate
Yeah.
like corporations
And
are.
the layers of the onion are pretty,
It's like, it's so, it really is deep because the number, like it's teaching us something about Marconi, who we were ripping on.
inventor of the radio.
I'm so stoked to know that now.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, like this, that the whole song is saying, like, listen, the corporate world is not the way it's trying to take over and all this stuff. And meanwhile, Grace Slick got like basically conned. It almost sounds like she got conned into being sober for a decade.
Well, yeah, she said, sounds like she was such a dick during the 70s that the only way to keep her friends was to be sober.
Yeah, well, one of her nicknames was the Acid Queen. You
So she's like,
like you're probably
I'll go straight, and then she records.
Yeah,
We built this city.
maybe who knows what the flashback situation was throughout the
Oh
80s.
my gosh.
But the thing is, like, I mean, it is kind of interesting the fact that she's actually, ripping on this song, saying it's the worst song. And I quote, right? That's what you said.
That's what she said. She said it was the worst song.
So the worst song. And then
I mean, there are so many songs.
she said, I thought I would be a good girl.
Yeah.
Ew, gross. Like all this shit. It's like, I relate to that though. Sometimes you just like, you think you're doing the right thing for the right reasons, but then it was a number one hit. Like if you look at it, like
Yeah.
there's all this stuff like, okay, whatever Rolling Stone said, like the readers poll of all time.
Worst 80s song of all time.
Yeah. I think that once a song, like in the zeitgeist, in the time in which it is released, it makes such a mark. It hits it.
Yeah.
It deserves it.
Yeah, for sure. And I'll say that at number 90, "Do What You Do" by Jermaine Jackson. Jermaine Jackson would have killed for that song to go number one. He's not worrying about the.
What is that song?
I
Do
don't
What You Do?
know. I mean, I can't even conjure what it sounds like right now. But I think you make a really good point that a lot, and I think it sort of lends into this question I had at the beginning of the show about when you see something that was popular and then later is ridiculed, how much of that is the art and how much of it is just like the time it was created?
The time is so relevant. Yeah. Like the way in which we look at things, the prism of our time creates like a bubble. Mm-hmm. And you look at things in that light of where you are. Like I can envision being at a club, hearing that song, dancing, like rising up, and it's such a catchy song. Like everyone can sing it, like we built this city, you can all just like, get in. Like you and I could do it right now. Let's do it. But anyway, it's just like one of those kind of songs. So it's like, it's anthem, it's like anthem rock. So, I don't know if the mambo has a part in anthem rock, but
mamba actually.
Oh, mamba.
Right. Whatever. So never quite got to the bottom of what that is, right? Other than a Russian dating site.
But at the end of the day, hats off to Built This City.
Hats off. And that's going to be one of the recurring themes in this show. We love the songs that we're picking for the most part. And we're not here to necessarily be negative Nellies. We just want to, rethink some of the lyrics.
We just want to dig in.
We want to dig in, yeah.
You're ever driving and you're listening, or you know what I find now that we have these AirPods that they're in your ear, they're so much more intimate. So I pay so much more attention to actually the lyrics of words that I ever did in the radio. And so sometimes I'm like, what the hell?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I just think it's worth a revisit.
I love it. We're going to leave you there
Okay.
but I won't do that. And we'll be back again soon. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Leave us some comments. We want to know what you think about uh, We Built This City.
We're building this podcast
Here we are.
on rock and roll.
Cheers, everyone. Bye.
Bye.